Hey guys, how's it going? So this is going to be round two of the Guitar Crash Course series. So what we're going to dive into, I've asked several of you, and it seems to be everybody wants to know the dreaded word theory and modes. So this is this is basically season 2 of Guitar Crash Course, and we're going to dive into theory and modes. I'm a little leery to do this video because theory turns a lot of people off. People are afraid of theory. Theory doesn't take anything away from you. Theory actually puts names and gives you knowledge of what's going on, and allows you to understand things a little clearer, understand music a little clearer. It's not some mystical gonna suck your tone away or gonna suck your playing ability away thing. It's only gonna help you. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. So this is, let me adjust this here. So this is our first, this is our next evolution into the Guitar Crash Course. We've talked about building a major scale. We've talked about triads. We've talked about major and minor. We've talked about open chords. We've learned how to build chords. We've learned how to build triads. We've learned how chords on a guitar neck, how they're laid out, that kind of thing. I've taught you guys how to build all this stuff. So let's dive a little deeper. First thing we're going to look at the major scale and the minor scale. So we know the major scale here. So we know our formula: whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, right? So this is A major, and if you guys remember, A major has 3 sharps: C sharp, F sharp, and G sharp, right? And we have to have that to build this pattern across the keyboard. All right. Our minor looks very different. If you notice, our minor has no sharps or flats in it. So if we look at the pattern here, we've got a whole step between the first and second. So A to B is a whole step. Then we got a half step between B and C. Then 2 whole steps. So between C and D and E are whole steps. E and F, we have a half step. And then G and A, we have whole steps again. So between F and G and A, right? So this might look oddly familiar, and it should, because it's something special, right? Maybe special is not the word, but it's something. I guess we can say it's something special. Okay. All right. So here's our introduction. So just a quick refresher, we know that with every major, we have chords associated in a major scale. Every interval has a chord associated with it, right? Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, and then we're of course back to major again for the octave, right? So we can do our little, our 1, 2, 3, 4, perfect 4, 5, 6, 7, and then back to our 1 again, right? So with the minor, it's a little bit different. So we're starting with a minor, right? The 2 is our diminished. 3 is major. And 4 is major. Right? No, wait a minute. No, I'm sorry. 4 is minor. Sorry. 5 is minor. 6, let's see, that's VI is major, and 7 is major. And then we're back to our minor. Sorry. Had to think about that for a minute. I goofed. All right. So, this should look familiar, very familiar. So I'm going to pull this away. And I'm going to show you why it looks familiar. Because it's the same as the C major scale, right? So, A minor is related to C major because it contains the same notes, right? No sharps, no flats in either. All right? Are you guys, hopefully you guys are with me so far. And if we take our whole half for our major, whole half for our major scale, right? And we were to transpose that on a keyboard, right? All of our white keys, going from C to C. We know that's our C major scale. Well, if we start on that A of the C major scale, which is, and we play A to A using the C major scale, right? Just A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, right here. We have a minor scale, and if you play that A minor scale, you can hear it. It sounds minor, right? So, like I said before, these are related. You may have heard the term relative minor. A is C's relative minor. Or vice versa, C is A's relative major. Okay? So we'll do a couple more. And I'm gonna integrate something else into this as well. All right? Well, I should have left the C there, but I'm going to slide this over a little bit. Minor's still in frame. That's fine. So we're going to do C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So our next scale is going to be G major, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Okay? Our next one is going to be D, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. Our next one's going to be A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. Do you see a pattern developing here? I hope so. I'll explain it in just a minute. Next we're going to do E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. Okay? And we'll do one more. That's going to be B, C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, or not E sharp, I'm sorry, E, just regular E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, and then we're B. All right. We might as well do F sharp while we're at it. F sharp's a little weird, but so F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, F, and F sharp. Kind of weird, but that's how it works. Okay. Feel free to apply the whole half half formula. You'll find these should be accurate. So, what is our relation here? Okay, we're going to go back and I'm going to explain the relative minors of each of these. It's going to be real easy, but first off, we have some relation going on here. So, if you notice on this side, we have C has no sharps, no flats, right? None. G has one sharp, which is F sharp, right? D has two sharps, F sharp and C sharp. C has three sharps, C sharp, F sharp, and G sharp. E has four sharps, F sharp, G sharp, C sharp, and D sharp. B has five sharps, so C, D, F, G, A are our five sharps. And F sharp has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as well. Okay? Now, another thing you might notice, and I'm going to do this here. And we're going to use another color. G, right? D, A, E, B, F sharp. And to really make it stand out, you're going to notice G, right? D, A, E, B, F sharp. So this goes up. G is our fifth, right? That's our next. D is our fifth. That's our next. And every time we go up by a fifth, we add a sharp, right? This is half of the circle, what's known as the circle of fifths. The other half is the flat side. Feel free to look it up and learn it at your own, on your own. It starts with F, and the only flat in F is B flat. So, and you can kind of take it from there. All right. So now, hopefully you guys, you see there is a relation. There is a relation here with each of these scales, right? So, and it's all based on the fifth of each one. Sorry, I've got the sun coming in. It's either big glare or the sun. I can't win. All right. So this is kind of our circle. And as I alluded to before, every major scale has a relative minor. Okay? And we know, I'm going to do something else here. So I'm going to color code the sixth. So that's our relative minor, is always going to be our sixth, right, of the major. Okay? So if C's relative minor is A, G's relative minor is E. And how would we write an E minor? Well, if we follow that same logic that we just looked, or we just showed, so it would be E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E. That is an E minor scale. And with D, our sixth is B, so that would be a B minor. So B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G, A, and B. You see where I'm going with this, right? So our next one is F sharp. So in the key of A, our relative minor is F sharp minor. So F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp. You get the picture. With E, it is C sharp minor. So on and so forth. Well, okay. C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, right? Where am I at? C. Okay, A, yeah. A, B. No, not D sharp, D. Regular D. My bad. Okay. Is that right? C. Oh, wait a minute. No, it was D sharp. I'm on E. Sorry. Then B would be. Sorry. I goofed that one. Yeah, G sharp. Yeah, no, never mind. I'm good. So G sharp minor. So G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, and G sharp. Okay? And then, of course, F sharp minor, or F sharp, the minor would be C sharp, no, D sharp minor. Okay? Yep, D sharp minor. So we would just continue doing the same thing for that. All right. Now, here's something else. Not only is this minor has a name. It's not just minor. It's called Aeolian. All right? That's a mode. So keep that in mind. We'll circle back. We're going to circle back to that here in just a minute. All right? So we good? We good with this? We understand that every major has a relative minor. Cool? All right. Moving right along. And we'll start again here. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay? We're back to our C major scale. Now, you remember we have major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, and then back to major, right? For as far as chords. Well, each interval of a major scale also has a scale as well. So with a C, when we start with C and we have just a major scale, this is called Ionian. Okay? Now, the easiest way to understand this is the way I'm going to show you, but the easiest way to apply it is different. So I'm going to show you both ways, right? So let's start next. So we know that D is minor, right? So if we apply that scale, right? Same scale, well, we just start on D. So we go D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. That's a minor scale. Look at it's a minor chord. This is called Dorian. Okay? E, we're going to keep going. I'll explain some things here. So if we start with E, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, this is called Phrygian. Okay? Gonna keep going. F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F is Lydian. G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G is Mixolydian. Right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A is what I say earlier, Aeolian. And then our last one is B, right? B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B is Locrian. Okay? There's your modes. Every scale, doesn't matter if it's C, D, E, F, G, A, B, every scale is laid out exactly like this. Every scale has modes. Now, that's nice, right? That's all nice. So, like I said, this is the easiest way I can explain it to make it understandable. This is not, however, the best way to think of it, the best way to apply it. Okay, this is actually the long way to apply it. So now what does all this mean? All right, let's look at things based off of their parent major scale. All right, this is the best way to look at modes. Right, it's at least in a usable sense. Let's see what's happening here. All right. So let's take our Dorian and let's reference our D major scale. So D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. This is, there we go, close enough. This is our D major scale. What's happening here for Dorian? So we're flatting the third. So we're going to say flat third and flat 6, right? Okay. Does that make sense? If you see this versus this is your Ionian, right? So this is your D major. And if you compare it to Dorian, what you've got, you flat the third and flat the sixth. Okay? We're going to look at Phrygian now. So we've got E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp. So we have a flat 2, a flat 3, a flat 6, and flat 7. Well, that's a lot, right? Okay. So Lydian, that's a little different ball of wax there for us. Because if we reference our F major scale, F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. Okay? So what do we have? We have a sharp 4. I should have lined those up a little bit better. Let's go ahead and catch that right now. F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. So we have a sharp 4, right? For Lydian, Mixolydian, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. We have a flat 7 for Mixolydian, right? A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. So we have a flat 3, a flat 6, and a flat 7. Okay. Locrian's all kinds of jacked up. I say that with all the love because Locrian's actually kind of cool thing that you can use. But much later. Locrian, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, and then B. So you're flat 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7. Okay? So this is the easiest way to relate and learn these formulas. So we have flat 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Okay? All right. So relate off of your major scale versus your Ionian, okay? Or so, and I'm gonna kind of show how this all ties. All right. Okay. So let's look at. Let me explain something real quick. Why would you use any of those modes? Where would you use any of those modes? That's the key. Let me show you. It's easier to show you. Let's take let's take a few songs, popular songs. Most everybody knows these songs. Maybe not know how to play them, but everybody's familiar with these songs. And let's keep in mind, one of the big things to always keep in mind when you're starting to pick this apart and you're starting to learn this stuff is your tone center. Okay? I.e., what key is the song written in? Not what does it look like? What key is it actually written in? So I'm going to take an easy one to start with. So I have a song that's written in D minor. Okay? There's our D minor. Okay? We know that. But at least I'm telling you that it's written in D minor. I promise it's written in D minor. Okay. Okay. What is a D minor triad? D minor triad is D, F, and A. Okay? So within that song, there's a G major, G major chord. So that's G, B, D. There is a C major chord, which is C, E, and G, right? This is where learning your triads is very important. Remember that. Know your triads, learn your triads. This is where it's going to pay dividends, I promise you. Not only here, but this is one place it's really going to pay you dividends. Wagging my finger. Learn this stuff. Okay. There's also an F major. And that is FAC. Okay. Those are basically the four chords of the song. The tone center of this song is D minor. Okay? That's our tone center. So if we want to construct a scale to be able to play over these chords on this song, this is where we start. We start with D because it is our tone center. So we're gonna go ahead and build that scale now, okay? So we have a D, right? These are the letters we're choosing. We have a D, we have an E, right? So we'll take out the D's and we'll take out the E, right? We have an F. Yeah, we good now? You guys following what I'm doing here? We have a G. We have an A. We have a B. And we have C. Now, this should look familiar, because we just learned that this scale, written out just like this, we can throw another D on the end of it if you like, is what? D Dorian. Okay? This song, Another Brick in the Wall Part 2 by Pink Floyd. There's your chords. There's your scale to play over it. Boom. All right? I hope that makes a little sense. Let's do another one. So I hope that explains a little bit. Like I said, we'll do another one. This one, we're going to start in the key of the tone center is E major. So E major. So what's our triad? E, G sharp, and B. So in that song, we also have a D major, which is D, F sharp, A. Okay? We also have an A major, which is A, C sharp, E. All right. So let's go ahead and line it out. What do you say? Seem pretty easy? Just watch. E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D, E. Right? That's these notes, these triads, just pulled out into a scale. Now, if we relate this to an E major scale, we're missing one thing. Right here, this would be a D sharp, right? In a major scale. So this isn't a major scale. This has a what? Flat 7. That means this song is Mixolydian because we have a flat 7. By the way, AC/DC Back in Black. All right? We'll do a couple more. I have another song. It's written in A minor. Okay? And that triad is ACE, right? All right. We have a D minor. That is DFA. We have a G major. Which is GBD. We have a C major, which is CEG. And we have an F major, which is FAC. Right? Remember, our tone center is A. So we're going to start with A, and we're gonna build our scale again. Do I make this fast or do I make it painful? All right, we'll do it one by one. So we've got an A, because that's where we're starting. We have a B. We have a C. We have a D. We have an E, an F, and a G, and an A. So what is that? Besides A minor, it's also A Aeolian. I hope this is starting to make sense. So not only your chord structure denotes what you play. what mode. The chord structure denotes the mode, period. It's not learning an Aeolian or learning a Phrygian or learning a Locrian. It's knowing what your structure is, and then you can play it. You can't just pick a random chord progression and play a Lydian over it and it sound good. It just doesn't work that way. It might sound okay in places. It's going to sound bad in others because of your raised fourth, right? It's just the way it works. So here is where knowing your triads, knowing the theory behind how to build the triads, and knowing how everything, learning how it works based off the major scale. Everything in our music, in Western music, is based off the major scale. If you don't know your major scale, you're doing yourself a disservice. All right. That's why I spent one full lesson on the major scale and said, hey guys, you need to learn this. Learn how to build them and learn them. Same rule applies here. This is why I say learn your major scale, because if you know the C sharp, the D sharp, or the C sharp and the F sharp and G sharp in A would be sharp normally. So you flat the 3, flat the 6, and flat the 7, you got an Aeolian, right? But if you can take and you can break down a song or break down a chord progression into its rudimentary form, which is triads, right? You can build a scale and you can play that scale over it, and it's going to work just fine. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that helps. So, I mean, that's really the nuts and bolts of modes, and how to use modes, and how to find out what mode something is in, right? It's all based off of the song structure itself, off the chord progression. So when you hear the really knowledgeable guys and they're talking and it sounds like complete gibberish, now maybe you have a little knowledge and understanding and say, oh, wait a minute. Oh, that D Dorian, okay, that's based off of the C major scale. It's, oh, so really the chords are going to be, D minor. It could possibly be D minor, E minor, F major, G major, C major, A minor, and B diminished. Now, there's outliers in there, subdominants, that kind of thing, which that's much later. But just know it's basically a subdominant is what's called a bar. Basically, it's a borrowed chord. So you take a chord that's not necessarily in the key, but it's a major or a dominant chord of one of your chords in the key, one of your major or minor chords in the key, and it works, right? There's a lot of songs that do that. Hotel California by the Eagles is one of them. Feel free to look that one up on your own. But the song is written in B minor, so you can kind of you can kind of work through that one. It's a tough one because there's actually a couple of outliers in that one. So I'm not gonna hammer into that one so much, but you've got enough knowledge now to be able to put together most songs, or a lot of songs, and be able to confidently build a scale as long as you know the triads, as long as you know those chords in that song, then you can break those down to your triads, break those chords down, simplest form into triads, major, minor, whatever. Know your tone center, know your key, right? Is it A minor? Is it E minor? Is it, what is it? And then you can kind of figure it out. Figure out what to play, basically what to play over, over any chord progression. It's really not that difficult and not that mysterious when you look at it in this light. It actually makes a lot of sense. To me, it's very easy. And again, learning those, like I showed before, learning those, learning the formulas, Dorian, flat 3, flat 7, Lydian, sharp 4, Mixolydian, flat 7, Aeolian, flat 3, flat 6, flat 7. Learning those formulas will really help you, and also knowing the major scales will really help you. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much modes demystified and how to use modes. And this is what a lot of teachers on YouTube, a lot of teachers, period, will not tell you. Or they leave it out, or maybe they don't know. But, that this is it. This is how you do it. There's more. This is just basic. This is basic modes, right? I'm not getting into, we're not going to do like harmonic minors and we're not going to get into that stuff yet. But that's how you use modes. That's basically it. It doesn't get a whole lot more difficult than that. So, yeah, hope you guys learned a little something. I know it's probably a little long, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it and got something out of it. Thanks for hanging out, and if you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section below. Appreciate you guys, and as I always say, be good or be good at it. If you can't be good, at least be good at it. Y'all have a good one.